Welcome back to the Teacup Trail. We are in episode 2 of season 10 of When Calls the Heart. We should get started.
Hey, how are you, Bill?
Better than I deserve, Hickam.
At the end of episode 1, Bill tried the hot spring, and now in the beginning of episode 2, he seemed to be in a better mood, and everyone else is very surprised to see his mood change into a positive direction.
Well, he seems different.
You're like a new man.
Morning, ladies.
Well, you seem to be feeling much better. Is there anything I should know?
Well, not that I can think of.
Well, whatever it is you're doing, keep doing it.
Well, what can I say? When life gives you lemons,
When he said, when life gives you lemon, I was thinking, what's the rest of the saying? Isn't it when life gives you lemon, make lemonade? Anyway, random quote from Bill, but basically he's trying to say, like, he feels so happy, in a happier mood. He's just his happy self, which is a good thing. And Faith, as a doctor, like, wondering, okay, like, what did he do? But we know that he tried the hot spring, and maybe it gave him some magical cure.
What? Why are you barking? You're outside. You want to go outside?
He is in over his head.
Nathan or Scout?
Maybe help will not do anything good for Nathan. As of now, he's still giving Nathan some drama, some trouble, and the Powerpuff Girls are enjoying the interaction between Nathan and his new beloved dog, Scout.
Good morning, Bill. Good timing. Your order just arrived. Let's take a look. Make sure you're happy with it.
No. I'm sure it's perfect. Yeah. Thanks.
Certainly.
I thought that was a little bit weird compared to today's time, how Ned wanted to make sure that Bill's order was correct, that it was something that Bill ordered. I thought it was a little bit of like a privacy line, like, why do you want to know what he ordered? And Bill like, no. But I thought it was an interesting custom culture back then, how Ned just wanted to make sure that Bill's order was correct and everything, and I'm just like, he will let you know after he opens it. However, it seemed to be a mysterious gift that Bill ordered that he doesn't want anyone to know about.
What are you worried about?
Nothing. Do I seem nervous?
Well, you're fidgeting. When you're nervous, you fidget.
I want everything to go well.
It was cute though when Rosemary had her hands on her baby bump. I'm really enjoying this season for her and Lee, for them to become parents for the first time to the first child. But for now, Elizabeth is meeting her family. I did not expect this. Right early on in episode 2, I thought it would be like a little bit later, but it's pretty cool that Elizabeth's aunt is coming over basically to give a family approval of Lucas before the wedding happens.
And I'm sure it will. I just want...
Your aunt to like your fiance. And you don't want Lucas to sense your nervousness, because then that'll just make him nervous, and that won't help anyone.
I hadn't thought of that.
Oh.
And it's really funny though, Rosemary knows her friend Elizabeth so well, right? And she's just like, I know you're nervous, like you're doing that thing whenever you're nervous. It's also funny how Rosemary told Elizabeth, like, well, if he be nervous, then Luke is gonna be nervous, then the whole thing gonna get ruined. And Elizabeth, like, don't make it worse than it already is. But it is nerve-wracking and exciting at the same time to have your family members meet your future husband or future wife, and that final approval, I guess, just to make sure that he is the one or she is the one. But in this case, Elizabeth aunt want to meet Lucas before the wedding and just to like feel him out. And I think Lucas gonna be nervous. Lucas does get nervous. He wants to be the great husband for Elizabeth. He wants to display that in front of Elizabeth's parents and the rest of her family. Of course, he would be nervous.
Well, listen to me prattling on. Lucas never gets nervous.
Am I late? Couldn't decide on a tie.
Your tie is perfect.
Splendid. Completely presentable.
Like, Lucas, he is nervous. Like, right off the bat, you can tell he is nervous. He couldn't decide on which tie to wear. It just showed that he wants to make himself presentable and he wants to impress Elizabeth aunt and any family members that he will eventually meet. He wants to impress them and just to make sure that they know that Lucas loves Elizabeth and that he will be a great husband to her and that he would commit his life to her and Jack and to any kids Elizabeth and him will have in the future. It just showed that he wants to make the effort, he wants to look the best, and he cares for Elizabeth. Like, he doesn't want to make him and Elizabeth look bad as a couple.
Well, I'm off. I've done enough here for today.
You're going to be great. Aunt Agatha and Julie aren't here to judge. Of course, they want to meet you, but really, they're here to see little Jack. And
Off you go, Rosemary. Maybe it's for the best. Rosemary gave that little wink right before she walked off. So that's like a little nod to Elizabeth, like, you're gonna do great. I don't know if you caught that. You know, those little things that make a huge difference in the scenes. Elizabeth's nervousness is still there when she said to Lucas, like, oh, your tie is perfect. You can see that look on her face. She's like, it's perfect. Like, but at the same time, like, I'm still freaking out that my aunt is about to come and meet Lucas for the first time. She's trying to stay calm, but she's really not.
and talk dresses and wedding details and everything's going to be fine.
I heard the family's coming to meet you. Good luck with that.
Where are they? Where are they?
They'll be here soon, honey.
In just under 3 minutes, we get this comedy going on. Bill, he's like icing on the cake. He wrecked them. That look on Elizabeth and Lucas on their faces, they're just like, we are doomed. They're very nervous. Elizabeth, she's trying to stay calm for Lucas, but she is so nervous. She wants everything to go smoothly. She wants her family to like Lucas, of course. She did mention that they are going to be here, her aunt and her sister, to see Jack, but I'm like, not really. Elizabeth aunt is here to see Lucas. That's like her number one on her agenda. We'll see how it goes, but for now, I think it's really cute how they're nervous. They just want to have everything work out, and they know that they can continue the wedding in the future, knowing that both families on both sides like each other. Lucabeth's moment, the way that she put her hand on his arm and then he grabbed her hand to hold it, hand holding, physical touch is a sign of comfort. So that was comforting for Lucas. They tried their best, just to stay calm until this whole thing is over.
Stop here!
Oh my goodness. Oh, it's so good to see you. Julie, I'm so happy you're here.
It's so great to see Julie in episode 2. I did not expect to see her this early in this season 10, but it's nice though. It's instead of like just at the wedding, we get to see her before the wedding, and she is so happy to be back in Hope Valley. Elizabeth is so happy to see 2 of her family members. And Lucas, you can tell he tried to smile, and then when Elizabeth walked away with Jack to Julie, you can see Lucas like taking that final big breath before he meets Elizabeth's aunt and sister.
And look at you! Who's this young man who's growing far too fast?
Yeah.
Oh, I know, silly.
Good day, madam. You must be the favorite aunt I keep hearing of.
Agatha Thatcher. And you must be the man who thinks he's marrying my niece.
Lucas, he is doing great, but unfortunately, the aunt is making a joke, hopefully. Doesn't sound like a great start, but you can tell Elizabeth's aunt is very tough. She might have like high standards for her niece Elizabeth and the man that she wants to marry. So her eyes just like all over Lucas, not only because she is here to see Jack, but I think her primary concern, her primary plan on her agenda in Hope Valley is her eyes on Lucas.
It's a pleasure to meet you. And that was a joke. You must tell your young man he mustn't take me so seriously. Elizabeth, come here.
It's a joke, which is good, but at the same time, I still feel like she had that vibe, like, I'm still gonna, like, watch you like a hawk. Of course, she wants to get to know Lucas a little bit more. She wants to be sure that the wedding is on track. Maybe she is, like, an ambassador for Elizabeth's parents during the wedding planning.
Dear Jack, I have mislaid a very delicious candy bar somewhere in this handbag. Could you possibly help me find it?
I think so.
My, that is a lovely tie.
Bonus point from the aunt though, she likes Lucas' tie. Lucas is very charming, but he's very humble about his charms and his attractive features. Like he knows he's a handsome man, and of course he still wants to impress the aunt, especially with the tie. The tie speaks a message. Now I'm thinking about job interview and all that. Like a good tie, like it can tell you a story. Like, you know, does it like flashy, or is it like formal, or you just try to like be respectable? His tie wasn't like flashy. It was nice, but it's kind of like in a humble way, trying to impress Elizabeth's family, and it definitely impressed the aunt. So that's definitely a bonus point for Lucas on that one.
My dear, what is that odor?
Those are the horses, Auntie. We're on the frontier, remember?
Welcome to Hope Valley, aunt. It's so funny. I forgot they filmed the city life, which Lucas was in before he came into Hope Valley. Elizabeth was living the city life before she moved to Hope Valley to be a teacher in Hope Valley. They are settling down in Hope Valley, and I guess like the big part, the introduction, the greeting, they get over it now, and now it's just catching up and getting to know Lucas a little bit more and spending time more with Jack.
Well, that's fantastic. I look forward to it. No, thank you. Hot dog!
Who is that?
That was Lawrence Barnaby, the guy that turned me down 2 weeks ago.
That sounds promising. So exciting for Lee. He is still working hard at it, trying to get at least one contract in, one new partnership in to keep his business running and to keep those employees employed instead of laying them off anytime soon. He is a great boss, and he had that great heart for his employees, and he just wanted to be successful, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Yes.
Now he's got an even bigger project on the go. He's coming through town, and guess who's taking him to lunch?
Well, that sounds promising.
It is. Not a sure thing, of course, but I think if I can give him my best pitch in person this time.
You will charm him like only you can.
Bingo. Yes.
Rosemary, of course, she is a very supportive wife. She is very happy for Lee, and hopefully the lunch meeting with that businessman will go well, and if it does, it's kind of like a safety net for Lee business.
So, what's all this stuff you got here?
Oh, wedding planning. Elizabeth and I have a meeting with Julie and her aunt to discuss.
Oh, I thought Elizabeth and Lucas decided to keep things simple.
They did. Simple can still be elegant.
Rosemary, as the maid of honor, she is on top of everything, supporting Elizabeth in her vision dream for her wedding with Lucas. She is there as a friend, and since Elizabeth's aunt and sister are in town, Rosemary is like the wing woman, the psychic for Elizabeth.
Sure. You think Julie and Agatha are going to be okay with simple, albeit elegant?
No, of course not. If it were up to them, Elizabeth would arrive in a golden carriage with a flock of doves carrying her train while an orchestra played the Marriage of Figaro.
So we get to hear what Elizabeth and Lucas wanted in the wedding. They wanted to be simple, and I think that comes with the fact that Elizabeth is getting married twice. She already know what to expect, but at the same time, she still wants to respect Lucas and to have a nice wedding for Lucas to experience and remember by, and the wedding that will represent the two of them as a couple, and as well, you know, for them to enjoy it, you know, like they need to be happy, they need to enjoy the wedding. So Rosemary making sure that no one or nothing will come into Elizabeth road to the wedding that she wants. And since Elizabeth's aunt and sister are in town, and I feel like her aunt is kind of like tough to deal with, Rosemary will be at the ladies' meeting to be sure that Elizabeth will have a say in her wedding and not her aunt taking over, taking control of the wedding planning.
No. That is why I'm going to be with Elizabeth. To protect her.
I got that.
Rosemary always protects Elizabeth. They are best friends, so I totally see Rosemary doing that at this meeting that she would go to with Elizabeth and her aunt and sister. Lee, he's like thinking like, okay, like my wife Rosemary versus Elizabeth aunt. We'll see how that goes. But Rosemary mentioned about what Elizabeth family wants in this wedding. You know, extravagant, like fancy, like high-end, a lot of money. It's something that Elizabeth doesn't want. So Rosemary gonna be there, vouch for her, kind of like be Elizabeth attorney and be Elizabeth voice if she gets stuck or she doesn't want to hurt feelings of her aunt, like she doesn't want to, you know, make her feel like disappointed. But it's Elizabeth's wedding, and Elizabeth should have the say and the power and the control in what she wants in her wedding.
Judge, how come that no swimming sign is still at the hot springs?
I told you something's going on up there. Safety issues.
But we've gone swimming up there 100 times. We already know it's safe.
Well, in my capacity as mayor, I have to make sure, and that takes time.
How much time?
Cooper and Toby and some of the other kids have been going up to that creek, the hot spring. And Hooper knows that it's super safe. Like he said, he's been there 1,000,000 times. And she's like, why there is no swimming pools and all that? However, we know that Bill tried the hot spring, and he got that mysterious order him in, and Ned wanted to find out, and Bill like, no, don't open it. So maybe he got himself a new bathing suit or something.
I've seen you go up there at least 6 times.
6 times? Well, now I think you're exaggerating.
No, I'm not. You went up there twice yesterday, and then 3 times the day before that.
Minnie, if you don't mind, I have some business to attend to in my office.
What?
So Hooper, he's not stupid. He's not little anymore. Like his brain, like figuring things out. He's like, wait, so there's no swimming sign, but you, the mayor, have been going up there like 6 times, and we the kids cannot, and it's shallow, it's not deep. So Hooper's just wondering like, okay, what else is going on?
What is this about a hot springs?
Oh, Cooper says he found it up at Fawn's Creek.
That creek is freezing.
Then why is the mayor swimming up there every day?
Bill, his secret is kind of like revealing a little bit more in front of Minnie and Fiona and Hooper, and he just like ran away. So maybe he is up to something. We'll see later on. But also, a little side note, I guess a little bit spoiler, that look on Fiona's face, she's very curious. Maybe she would go up there later on.
I didn't think you'd mind if I helped myself.
Of course. I'll put that on your tab.
This was a little bit awkward. Nathan, I don't blame him. He just like got himself like a small bowl of ice cream. May didn't mind that.
Your shoulder's bothering you?
Yeah, it's acting up. I was hoping for a refill on those pain relievers.
Maybe you should hold the leash with your good arm. Do you have a prescription?
Yeah.
May, she made that joke. I thought I was like, okay, is that a joke, a plain joke, or was that like a flirty joke? I'm keeping my eyes on her because I feel like her and Nathan, their book is not closed yet. And I read some tweets on Twitter. They were talking about, especially those that are Team May and Nathan. They're like, we'll see how this season goes. Like, it could change, right? It could be from Faith to May again by the end of this season.
Dr. Mortimer?
Yeah. The last time I was in Benson Hills, I saw a doctor there. I didn't think Faith would mind.
You went all the way to Benson Hills so you wouldn't have to talk to Faith?
He went to Benson Hills to get a prescription on his arm, and May's like, why you went all the way over there when you have a doctor here in your hometown, Hope Valley, Dr. Faith? Great question, May. May, she's very upfront. I think that's one thing I like about her. She say as it is, except for her feelings for Nathan. I'm still like suspicious about her feeling for Nathan. Like, seriously, like this is only episode 2, and I'm like, like I think things gonna change throughout the season on this love triangle for Nathan.
No, I didn't.
Nathan, he is struggling with his relationship with Faith, and you can tell that. He doesn't want to talk about it much. He doesn't open up easily about it, but his face, like his facial reaction, tell a good story about how he feel about Faith. But he just doesn't have that confidence to just start a conversation with Faith, or even like have a conversation like, hey, how are you? Like, how have you been? Like, the small step. Like, he doesn't have to go big, but he's the type of guy that can be very quiet. He doesn't open up easily. He still have that quiet nature about himself.
I do not understand you two. We are all friends, but you and Faith aren't acting that way. Don't you think it's time?
And May just trying to encourage him, like, hey, like me, I'm fine with Faith and Fiona. Like, if I'm fine with Faith and we are chill and we get along with each other, like, you and Faith should be fun and get along in that way at least. Basically, May doesn't like seeing Faith and Nathan not talk to each other at all. Like, at least be friends. And they were friends until that happened and things got awkward. But you have to pass the awkwardness to clear the air.
Your mother's seamstress found this fabric in New York at one of the premier bridal boutiques on Fifth Avenue. And here is his sketch.
Mountains of tulle and lace. You look like a princess.
Big no. Big N-O.
Oh my, this is lovely, isn't it? But, ladies, while this is a wonderful idea, I don't think it's quite in keeping with the motif of the wedding.
Thank God that Rosemary is there at the meeting. If not, Elizabeth will go crazy. I think she will, not on purpose, hurt her own feelings, and she doesn't want to hurt her own feeling and her sister feeling.
And what motif might that be?
Rustic, old world.
What on earth?
It's funny how the aunt like, okay, like if you don't like this New York style wedding dress, like what's your plan? And Elizabeth has no words, and she looked back to Rosemary. She is depending on Rosemary to be Elizabeth's voice in this meeting.
It's where fairy tales meet countryside charm. So, for the dress, we were thinking a very simple embroidered mermaid gown.
Let's talk about that first wedding dress design from Rosemary, and I thought it was great. I thought it was great for like a second wedding for Elizabeth. Not to be mean, I think she doesn't want to go big because she already had her first wedding with Jack, but at the same time she wanted to be unique, elegant, still like a wonderful experience for her to enjoy for her second wedding. So that look, I thought it was very elegant, simple but elegant, and it's totally Elizabeth style, and she looked very, very happy with that wedding dress design.
Long pearl necklaces, Juliet cap veil. Or, if we're being cheeky, a cloche hat.
Maybe not the hat.
Not a hat.
Oh, but that would be the absolute berries.
Julie, not too bad. She's like, go with the flow. She knows her sister. She wants the best for her sister. But there's still that big concern on the aunt. You can see her hand like on her chest. She's like, oh my goodness, like my niece wants this for her wedding. Hopefully she understand and respect what Elizabeth wants in her wedding. And Rosemary, she did great as the sidekick for Elizabeth in this meeting. Elizabeth would have been so lost without Rosemary.
If you're into that kind of thing.
I know you two have grand ideas, but you know me. I don't need anything lavish. I like Rosemary's idea.
I think coming to Hope Valley and living the Hope Valley lifestyle, I think the experience of living in the town humble Elizabeth. She came from a city life like so fun, like everything is in the city, right? But Hope Valley, it just humbles you like in a different way, and you have a different perspective. And that's why Elizabeth, like, she doesn't want anything big, she doesn't want anything lavish, anything high end. She just like, I just want to marry Lucas. Like, simple as that. But at the same time, she still appreciates her family coming here and support her and just be there for her. It's a long travel, and she appreciates them traveling to Hope Valley and helping her continue the wedding planning.
Well, you're the one getting married. If you're happy, we're happy.
Thankfully, Elizabeth understands, and she said the right words, like, as long as you're happy, we're happy. And I think that's the most important thing here. Like, Elizabeth needs to be happy, her and Lucas.
Remind me again why we're hiking all the way up here if it's too dangerous to swim.
Well, I think it's lovely. Being in nature, taking in the fresh air.
And singing.
So remember when Hooper questioned Bill about the hot spring, and Fiona got curious about the talk of the town about this secret hot spring, and now Fiona arrived to the hot spring with May and Faith.
Didn't believe me. Your lips, your eyes, your cheeks, your hair are in a class beyond compare.
Bill?
I don't remember if Bill ever sang on the show before, but let me know if you remember a time. But great to hear Bill sing. I think it's funny, the circumstance of this scene. He is in his bathing suit singing, and he had no idea that there's 3 ladies standing nearby. When he put that no swimming sign, he thinks that he had the place to himself. He was so shocked when Fiona called out to him.
What are you doing here?
Having a picnic?
A picnic?
I thought these waters were dangerous, Bill.
Fiona, having heard the conversation between Bill and Hooper earlier at the cafe, Fiona put him in his place, like, what are you doing here? She knows by now that he took advantage of that no swimming sign so he can have the whole place to himself, because now he knows that it's safe. It's a nice treat, and you know, like, who wouldn't want to have like your own pool to yourself, right? And third, maybe it's helping his mood or his health. He seemed to be in a better mood, better mental health ever since he tried the hot spring. So maybe something in there is helping him.
Little Jack and those elusive tadpoles should keep Agatha and Julie busy for some time.
Thank you for being on my side and always knowing exactly what I need.
Well, it's my job.
I just thought Rosemary is pregnant, right? She's literally like probably a month or 2 away from giving birth. She is carrying a heavy belly of a baby at the same time helping Elizabeth plan the wedding. So of course Elizabeth appreciates her for putting time aside to help Elizabeth on her wedding planning.
And don't worry, I'll find a way for you to return the favor.
Hello. So, how do I look?
Oh dear. Lee has a big meeting with a prospective customer today.
How exciting. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Hopefully Lee meeting goes well. He is a little bit anxious. He doesn't have high hopes as of now. So hopefully it works in his favor.
Unfortunately, I think it's a bit of a long shot.
I thought you were optimistic.
I was, until I heard the price at the mill in Wolfsburg quoted him.
Well, is there anything I can do to help?
As a matter of fact, yes, there is. Remember what Faith told you. Listen to your body and rest.
Yeah, that's the thing. Rosemary needs to rest, and I was just thinking, you know, Rosemary has a lot on her plate. She likes to keep herself busy with the newspaper company, her pregnancy, Elizabeth wedding planning. She does have a lot on her plate.
Now sit down and rest. I will be just fine. I love you.
I love you.
Good luck.
Thank you so much.
I'm going with him. Whoa.
Again, Rosemary loves to stay busy. She loves to occupy herself at all times. And she loves her husband to death, and she wants to support him. And she just like dashing to the door, not really care about rest at the moment.
Whoa. What happened to listening to your body?
I am listening to my body, and my body is telling me that my husband needs my help. And you're coming with me. It's time to repay that favor.
And Elizabeth, unfortunately, have to tag along. She's like, I don't want to be involved in your husband business meeting. Yeah, it's a little bit of a dangerous zone for Elizabeth to be involved in this.
So, how long have you been bathing here?
I don't know, 20 minutes or so?
No, I meant how many days?
Maybe past a week or 2.
Well, I wonder if it could be the steam that's helping your symptoms.
Faith is a doctor, and she is aware that Bill is in a better mood lately for the past week or 2, like he said, that he had spending time in this hot spring. Back in those days, they didn't have technology, they didn't have much knowledge as we now know in today's time, doctors and nurses. So I feel like at the same time, this is something new for Faith too, and she wants to know, she wants to learn more, and she might do some research later on.
If you don't mind, I've got to get back to town, ladies.
This is really funny. Another comedy in this episode. He doesn't want to, you know, share his physical trait.
Go ahead. We're not stopping you.
And the three ladies just like teasing him, and they're like, I mean, why do you feel ashamed? Like, you know, just show like what you're wearing. And I was just wondering if he bought that bathing suit and he didn't want Ned to find out, and or maybe he is embarrassed by his bathing suit. It does look like a suit for people in prison though. Alrighty, we will stop it here for part 1 of episode 2 of season 10. We'll pick up the next day actually for part 2. I'm trying to like get on the good schedule because we are running a little bit behind. Episode 3 is already out. So keep an eye out for tomorrow if you are free for part 2. And then we will finish with the remaining third and fourth part of this episode this week and try to get a good jump on episode 3 before episode 4 comes out on TV on Sunday. Thank you for your patience. I'm trying to make this work, and I'm glad that I started before September. I was thinking to just like film everything and start releasing in September, but I'm just like, nah, I'd rather do it now. Like, I cannot wait. Like, it's too exciting outfit season to wait to talk about. So with that, I'll see you tomorrow for part 2. Bye.